everybody, it is Hobbs back here with you.
Yeah, it's Hobbs Horror, knocking down your door, all about the guts and gore, blood and pus, give him some more. He wants bone and entrails spread across the floor, so if you're looking for that theater macabre, look no more. Sit back and relax and enjoy some Hobbs Horror.
Thank you for watching Hobbs Horror.
Yeah, and don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good shit.
Welcome to Dollar Tree Theater. I'm your host, Hobbs Horror. A little late to the party today on my Dollar Tree Theater because I've been a little bit under the weather. Still not feeling 100%. I've got these little ear infection things, but I wanted to get this out while I have a little bit of time. So we do have some guests with us. We have Blobkin and we have Captain Spaulding here to enjoy the review. Thank you guys for coming. And we are reviewing the 1932 classic White Zombie. Now, if you watch my outro, you generally see a lot of clips from this movie. It is on public domain, and I have not fully ever completed this movie, believe it or not, and I did today, and I absolutely loved it. So let's talk about White Zombie, a Bela Lugosi engine. Some say that his performance in this, a year after Dracula, was even better than Dracula. Now that is highly debated and not stated particularly by me, but some feel he was at his most devious point in this film. So what we have here is we follow Neil and Madeline. They are from New York. They are in Haiti. And one of their acquaintances, Beaumont, convinces them to get married in Haiti. And they decide to take him up on the offer. But Beaumont has ulterior motives. Beaumont has other things in mind, as he wants and has the kicks for Madeline. So he goes to this witch doctor, only known as Murder, played by Bela Lugosi, who devises a plan to be able to assist him to convince or to subdue Madeline into not being married to Neil. And at that particular moment in time, things start to go south as something happens with Madeline, and she becomes into a comatose state. So then Neil regrets doing all this, realizing that she has either passed away, dead, or not really for sure what's happening. Now, there will be spoilers, but most of you have seen White Zombie, and yes, this is where Rob Zombie came up with the name for the band. White Zombie was from this particular film. So going forward now, Neil realizes that she may not be dead. He figures it out somehow. And Beaumont is also trying to figure out what can I do to bring her back. Meanwhile, there is this mill that Murder runs at this plantation. Again, we're talking 1930s. All the racial tropes, unfortunately, are in the film. You just have to look past those, although it's not really a great thing to look past. It is there, some of the racial tropes. Anyways, so Murder runs this mill of people that he is convinced are zombies. This is where the coined term zombies was first used. However, I do want to point out that these are different types of zombies. These are not necessarily Romero-type zombies. These are drugged, mind-controlled zombies from Murder. And basically, they are running the mill. In fact, at one point during the mill, there is an incident where one of the zombies falls into the mill. Basically what they're doing is they are basically grinding things. He falls into the grinder, and that was very eerie as well. But the mill, basically, they grind up things, and he runs that, and the zombies basically are mindless, They are drugged, and basically they just keep working for Murderer. And I'm getting a little bit off track here because now we're getting towards the latter half of the film where now Neil has to figure out, is there a way to bring Madeline back? And then Beaumont starts to have regrets for trying to get the help from Murderer to bring back, or to convince Madeline to go with him. So it's kind of like a love story gone wrong type situation. And essentially that's the plot of the film. As stuff starts to go haywire, I can't talk today. Stuff starts to go haywire. Like I said, I'm not feeling too hot. They've got to fight off the zombies. They've got to see if they can bring Madeline amongst the living. Neil has an accomplice with him who is a preacher, and he also has a doctor that he's been friends with. So he's just trying to get things right and get Madeline back, and that's the premise of the film for White Zombie. Blobkin, what did you think of it? Captain, hope you liked it. Anyways, guys, I loved this movie. I fully completed it for the first time. And I give this a 9 out of 10. But we're not doing that type of rating. We're doing Boglin ratings. So I'm going to give this 4.5 Boglins out of 5. 4.5 Boglins out of 5. The only two things I wish, and maybe because the copy I have is not the best, was the sound in this film. The sound of the grinder was so annoying, and the sound of this vulture every time that Murder was around, of course Bela Lugosi, this vulture would do this cock, and it was just like so freaking annoying. It almost sounded like someone doing a blood-curdling scream. But outside of this film is fantastic. Do I think it's better than Dracula? It's very close, but it's not. Let me know, do you guys like this film better than Dracula? What is your favorite Bela Lugosi film? Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna go take some more meds. Peace.
Welcome to the house on the A6 block. I'm just chilling on the porch in my chair I rock. I'm your host Jimmy Biggs with the ghoulish grip. The only light outside is the full moon grip. Welcome to a world mixed with evil and good. If you didn't plan on staying, then you misunderstood. This ain't a nightmare, the figment of imagination. Step inside and the house will awaken. Skeleton